warm welcome to all of you and a heartfelt namaste. I, Anuradha Sharda, would like to thank all of you for watching my videos, writing in your comments and your suggestions. Today, we are going to talk about a very beautiful yoga called Hamsa Yoga. Jupiter is said to be the Dev Guru and it is said to give 16 kinds of wealth. So, when Jupiter is in a very beautiful position to give, we can all just imagine the amount that it can give us. It can give us valorous life, it can give us a great knowledge, family, children, money, education, wisdom, you name it, it gives you. So, Jupiter is said to be the Hamsa Yoga is said to be one of the most beautiful yogas that can be found. Now, the thing is that this Hamsa Yoga is very peculiar. Why so? Because when we talk about any of these Panch Mahapurusha yogas, and I have made on Sasa Yoga that is relating to Saturn, Malavya Yoga which is relating to Venus, and Ruchik Yoga which is relating to Mars previously. Now, you can watch those videos to know more about them. But one thing that is common to all these yogas, even for Mercury, is that the planet must be in its sign of exaltation or in its own signs, and it should be simultaneously be in a kendra. Now these two together, when it so happens in our chart that it is so the planet is so positioned that both of these two together are fulfilled, in such a case this gives us the Panch Mahapurush Yoga. If we take for Jupiter, when Jupiter, for it to be in its own houses, as we know, is Sagittarius and also Pisces, and that are dual signs. For it to fall in a Kendra, the Lagna has to be a dual sign Lagna. Okay, and when Jupiter is exalted, it is exalted in Cancer. For it to be in Cancer and in a Kendra, the Lagna will have to be a movable sign. So this yoga, the particularly the Hamsa Yoga, can only be formed for two kinds of Lagna, the dual sign Lagnas or the movable Lagnas. It cannot be formed for those planets which fall in the for those lagnas which fall in the fixed signs. So this is one thing that we have to be clear on. Secondly, we have to understand if there are any thing that will stop it from being or rather it will reduce that power of the Hamsa Yoga. Yes, when this planet Jupiter is combust, when it is with sun and moon both, or if it is so that it is combust, two, if it is with a planet which is the dispositor of the sign where it gets debilitated. That is, um, supposing for Jupiter, Jupiter gets debilitated in the sign of Saturn. And if Jupiter is with Mars, because Saturn gets debilitated in the sign of Mars. So if Jupiter is with Mars or Jupiter is aspected by Mars, in such a case, again, this sign will show or this Hamsa Yoga will be greatly reduced. The third thing is that it should not be on a Rahu-Ketu axis. So we just need to keep these three things in mind when we're doing the analysis. Now, what will be the result for all these lagnas? So let us pick up one lagna by one by one lagna. First, let us start with the movable lagnas because the dual sign lagnas will again have more repercussions. So when we start with the movable lagnas, let's start with Aries first. For Aries, it is it gets exalted in the fourth house and simultaneously is the ruler of the ninth house and the 12th house. One thing we need to understand very, very clearly, when a planet is exalted or rather is in strength, in whatever strength that it is in that case it is capable of giving excellent results. Now these excellent results do not have to be good all the time, they can be good and bad. Those results will be excellent. We cannot categorize them that excellently good results and excellently bad results. Yes, this is the way we have to read it. We cannot say very no bad results. So if it is the ruler of the 12th house, it will also give us the 12th house significations. It can take us to hospitals. In case of Aries, it can take us to ashrams, it can take us to secluded places, it can make us give away a lot of things in life, it can make us very charitable. I would also add that if a person with Aries Lagna has Hamsa Yoga, then that person also delves deep into occult, because the ninth house is also the house of higher education, and the 12th house is the high house of uh, occult knowledge, and the fourth house is the house of knowledge. So when we add up these all these houses and we see a common point running through it, it is this: it also gives you security. It could give you a home, because the fourth house is home, a big home, a large home, a palatial home in some ashram or a faraway land where one does not want to be disturbed. It gives you charitable attitude. It gives you a caring and a nourishing attitude towards elders. It can give you a caring attitude towards children also, or you can be doing a lot of um, charity work with a lot of caring and a caring attitude. Now for the Cancer Lagna. So when we're talking about the Cancer Lagna, we see that the for the Cancer Lagna here, uh, Jupiter is the lord of the sixth house also, and you need to understand that it is also the lord of the ninth house. As I had told earlier, it will show excellent results for both these houses. It is not as if you're not going to get obstacles in life. You are going to face those obstacles in life, but by the blessings of the elders, by the blessings of some rishi or by some guru, you will be able to come out of those problems in life. So this shows that there will be problems, obstacles, everything possible, but not they cannot overpower you. You will be able to conquer them and overpower them. Now let us talk about Libra. For the Libra Lagna, it is the lord of the third house and the sixth house posited in the ninth house, a- in the 10th house, as it aspects the second house, it aspects the sixth house also, and it also aspects the second house. For the Libra Lagna, money will never ever be a problem, profession will not be a problem, but you will definitely face a lot of problems in your professional life, because these professionals, because what is the difference, what would be the basic difference in case of Cancer Lagna and Libra Lagna? Here for Cancer Lagna, it is in the trine 159 and aspecting it. So here principally you could face problems with people. As far as Libra Lagna is concerned, the problems would come in terms of employees, employers, bosses, but again you would know how to work your way out. It's the third lord also, so it gives you the ability to think on your feet, think wise, and then act, not react, and be a wise person along the way. So these things are a part of the Libra Lagna. Finally, when we come to the Capricorn Lagna, for the Capricorn Lagna, it is posited in the seventh house and being the lord of the third house and the 12th house. So there could be separation from wife on account of traveling, account of profession, uh, going abroad, staying abroad, doing work. Again, you need to see here it is in the 7 3 and 11 axis, where it is taking a, a lot of its showing a lot of its power. So you will see that because you would be an extremely social person trying to work things with others, especially more so on account of Capricorn, it would be more related with your work. So you would be paying more attention to those areas. So family life could suffer, or there could be problems with the spouse on certain areas because of that. All these things we can say. And we can also be very sure that you would need to donate something on account of the shastras, or you could be building up a higher education school also, because 12th house and would mean spending, and spending where, spending in terms of higher knowledge, or on elders, or on your parents, especially your father or your mentor or something like that, in your school, or in your good days or during the period. So now when we come to the dual signs, let's take up the sign of Gemini. This is a very interesting thing that we must know and understand. For Gemini Lagna, if Jupiter is posited in Pisces, it gives you a great career. Even then, it will have the Kendradipati. dosha. It is the lord of kendras, and though it gives good, but then a benefic when it is the, as per the shastras, when it is the benefic is the lord of the kendra and sitting in the kendra, then it definitely becomes a little malefic for itself, for that house and for that lagna. So here, though the Hamsa Yoga is also in use, but the Pati dosha will also come into use, and you can see that it will give mixed results. Now let's come to the interesting part. The interesting part here is that when it is posited in the Dhanu Rashi or the Sagittarius, in such a case, what happens? In such a case, it becomes the Maraka, it becomes the Badhaka, because we know that the Madaka is the seventh house, the Badhaka is the seventh house again for a dual sign. Now, it also has the Kendradipati dosha, and it also has Hamsa Yoga. So there are too many contradictory yogas, or too many things applicable to Jupiter happening at that time, and what results it's going to give. Each result is exclusive of the other. During its period, it's going to give you wealth. It's going to give you position. It's going to take you, probably give you marriage also, but it will also give you problems in terms of health. It can create certain issues relating to the houses that it owns for you in terms of your job prospects, where you might feel that you're not getting a job, but then actually later on you would. It just is a passing phase. But health prospects wise, yes, it is going to create problems for you. And so you need to be careful on these accounts also, because the stronger these yogas, the stronger its reflection in a person's life. Now, we come to another interesting position with respect to another Lagna of Mercury, that is Virgo. Again, for Virgo Lagna, when it is sitting in Dhanu Rashi, that is in Sagittarius, in such a case, not much of a problem, but yes, Kendradipati dosha is working. However, with this Hamsa Yoga being very strong, because it's sitting in its Mul Trikona Rashi also, it is going to give you a lot of familial happiness. It is going to give you a lot of security. It's the fourth house is comforts, the fourth house is happiness, family happiness, the fourth house is also the throne, and being the ruler of the seventh also, it can put you in the heart, because the fourth house is the heart. It can put you in the heart of the people, again, the fourth house is the emotions, so it can make you an emotionally content person, because Jupiter gives happiness and contentment. So it can make you an emotionally content person. So these are the good things that it is going to give you if it happens for Virgo, if Jupiter is sitting in Sagittarius. But if it is sitting in Pisces, again, Kendradipati dosh, again it gives you the dosha of being the lord of the seventh house, Markesh, and also the Badhak Sthana. And let's not forget, that's the 12th house of the natural zodiac, which is Pisces, which is letting go, which is a lot of hospitalization, problems with your health. So, health issues, though you would be getting a lot of name and fame, okay, and probably your security, your bank balance, because fourth house is also banks, so, and balances, so your bank balance might be rising up, but health issues are things that you really do need to care of when we are talking about this yoga with relation to Mercury, Mercury's position, or Mercury's Lagna of Virgo. Finally, when we come to the Sagittarius Lagna, we find that for Sagittarius Lagna, when Dhanu is sitting, when Jupiter is sitting in the Lagna, it's very strong. It's Digbali, sitting in its Mola Trikona Rashi. And so this Hamsa Yoga will give a lot of prosperity, a lot of happiness, family happiness, probably a big home house, your name rising up steadily, you being a very, very wise person, you having knowledge of many kinds, and you being a very good in, not just knowledgeable, not just in the in the shastras. It can, you can also have great financial acumen, and you can also have a great knowledge in terms of the politicians, so you are always politically correct. This could also happen. Finally, When for Sagittarius it is in the fourth house, it is about happiness. You are a very soft person. You know how to let you know how to give, you know how to let go, and your hearing is very very good. Even for Sagittarius, your learning abilities are more audible. You learn through the ear rather than the by rote or things like that. So when we're talking about finally the last sign of the natural zodiac, Pisces, when Jupiter is sitting in Pisces Lagna, it is creating a fabulous Hamsa Yoga, which makes you a gentleman of a person or a gentle lady, the lady par excellence in that case, because it is all about giving. You are very generous in the heart, because this yoga is also definitely when there is a good planet aspecting it, be it Venus, be it Mercury, or be it Moon. In that case, this yoga becomes very, very beneficial. So, if this yoga is formed in Pisces, then we know that this person is very good at heart, very clear person. And when we come and see that for Pisces Lagna, if Jupiter is sitting in Sagittarius, it gives you a profound career. Your career flourishes like nobody's business, and it goes international. Even for Gemini, for that matter, when Jupiter is sitting in Pisces, that career flourishes to all the parts of the world, because let us understand that Pisces talks international. So that person can have an international say in the world. So let us see a few charts, a couple of charts, and see as to how this yoga manifested in their lives. So when we're talking about Jayalalitha, for Jayalalitha, we see she is a Gemini ascendant with Jupiter right there in her seventh house. Incidentally, this Jupiter throughout her life gave her a footing, a holding in life. But when during its dasha, she fell ill, especially during the Saturn period in her life, she fell badly ill. And that was Saturn is sitting in the second house, becomes a Marika, Lord also of the eighth house, and aspecting the eighth house, and she could never come out of it. It is during the Jupiter Mahadasha and Saturn Antaradasha that she passed away. Walt Disney's case, as we see, Jupiter is in its own house and it puts him in the heart of people. It is the fourth lord and the seventh lord, gives him a standing in life and makes him extremely strong. Uh, when we so we can say, and another chart that I really do want to show you is that of Kamala Hassan. Kamala Hassan is an actor we know who has a lot of talent. So you see, he met with a lot of obstacles. Again, as I was talking about Libra Lagna, he met with a lot of obstacles in life. Okay, and but he was able to overcome them. And when we talk about talents in the industry, Kamala Hassan has so much of talent that we can watching any of his movies, Dasha Avatar, Sadma, and understand the kind of warehouse of talent that he is. And this Jupiter gave him a time to